welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you a few things that I've been making on repeat. A lot of you have asked for these recipes. They're very simple, totally doable in your house, and I think a couple of them will save you a lot of money. They are all milk products, so if you're lactose intolerant, maybe raw milk from A2 cows, which is what I happen to have, would work for you. Otherwise, if you want to make them for gifts, one of them makes an excellent gift. So I take it to people that are sick and they usually ask me, can I get some more of that? I am going to make with you sour cream. This is super helpful if you love sour cream. You're from maybe the United States or somewhere that eats sour cream, and then you go to a country that doesn't have sour cream, which is so very many of them. All three recipes are milk products that can be made with both raw milk or pasteurized milk. I've done them all with pasteurized milk and it's totally possible, totally doable, so don't worry about not having raw milk, or if you're not a raw milk fan, this video could still be for you. Sour cream though is something that I've wanted to have many times when I was in other countries that don't use it. Creme fraiche is very similar, and that might be actually what I'm making more, but that's in Europe. Some countries in Europe do creme fraiche. Ooh, so good. But the sour cream is excellent, and it took me a long time to find a good recipe, so let me show you that one first. I'm starting the process with my raw milk that is actually still has a cream on top, and I'm just going to siphon it into a bucket I have down here. With a hose, it doesn't actually go in my mouth, and I give the skimmed milk to our dogs and our chickens and ducks. But I'm going to siphon that real quick out here and get my cream on the top only, because that's what we will start with. Okay, I already have my cream. It's a very quick and easy method. That helps me get all of the cream instead of just scooping it off the top. If you don't know, when you leave raw milk to set, cream rises to the top. If it's not homogenized and like put back in the store-bought milk, it's homogenized, so the cream is with the milk, it doesn't separate. But for raw milk, it comes to the top, and then when I want the heavy cream, I have to drain it out. So if you are using pasteurized cream, you'll just buy some heavy cream or some whipping cream. I believe the whipping cream makes sour cream, and the heavy cream makes creme fraiche. That's the difference, I think. Pretty sure I'm using heavy cream, so maybe this is more of a creme fraiche thing. Regardless, we use it for sour cream and it turns out great. So I have waited to share this recipe because I wanted to make sure it is one that we loved and that is not failing. So this is pretty no fail for me. Once in a while it's a little runnier, but I think I even figured out why that was the case. So next up, I'm just going to put this in a jar. You may want to just do 1 cup if you have a normal size family. We have a large family. I have 11 children, 10 of them still living at home, and we go through a lot of sour cream. So I'd like to make about 2 cups of sour cream per week. And so I'm going to make sure I have 2 cups here. Just 2 of those jars left me with 2 cups of sour cream, which is perfect. I'm gonna siphon a lot more cream today just to have for heavy cream for cooking. Yum, so many good meals can be made with heavy cream. So if you're using store-bought cream, you are caught up to me now with our 2 cups. Next up, we're gonna add half a cup of whole milk. Obviously, if you are doing just 1 cup of cream, you'll do a 4th cup of milk. I have tried this without the milk, and I find it turns out to be a thicker sour cream with the milk, ironically, which seemed like it would have been the opposite for me. So I'm gonna pour in half a cup of whole milk, and next I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of vinegar. So 2 tablespoons if you're just doing the 1 cup. I'm gonna put a lid on my product here and make sure it's nice and tight. I'm gonna start shaking it. Now, the one time that I made this and it was a little thinner, I didn't shake it very long. Whoa, I'm shaking the camera too. So I shake it just a little longer now, and I noticed that it turns out very well. You don't want to keep shaking because you're gonna make butter. We don't want to do that. But a good, decent, maybe 30-second shake is good. Okay, next I'm gonna take the lid off, and we are about done, guys. I'm gonna put on some cheesecloth and a rubber band around it and leave it for 24 hours exactly. At 24 hours, I'm gonna come back and show you what this made. So, let me get it wrapped. That's it. And there she will sit until tomorrow. Okay, next up, we are gonna get some yogurt started. I've been making yogurt since my oldest children were very young. I still have young children, a lot of them, but when my oldest were young, I started making it, and wow, what a money saver. If you eat yogurt, I tell you, this will save you so much money. I made it for years without a thermometer, but this one little thing, this one little device, a food thermometer, really does take it from sometimes failing to never failing. So I find this to be the no-fail key. I have old videos where I made yogurt. You can find them if you want a no thermometer method, but I do love the thermometer. I'm gonna show you how to get this started. This one, of course, you can also use pasteurized milk. One thing about making some of these products at home is I really feel like when you're parents, it helps teach your kids what our food is and how it's made and where it comes from, instead of just buying sour cream for your entire life or yogurt. When you actually make it, it empowers your kids to realize that, wow, I can make stuff on my own, and this is not as hard as I thought it might be because we always just bought it. And so I feel like it is such a great lesson for kids. So maybe something you could do with your children. This recipe is also so simple. My favorite thing to do is to use a pressure cooker, just because I have a very busy life. In fact, I'm running out the door soon, and it's just helps me not to have to babysit something besides my children, which we don't really babysit. So I'm using my pressure cooker today, but I will explain to you how to easily do this without a pressure cooker. You just need this guy. I'm going to pour in a gallon of milk. You can do this with less, no problem. You can do it with pasteurized, of course. And then also, if you want low-fat yogurt, you can do it with low-fat milk. I love full-fat yogurt, so I do it with full-fat milk. But any of them work exactly the same, so you can customize it. A lot of pressure cookers have a setting for yogurt. Mine does. If so, you can just put that to boil, and then we'll come back to it in a few minutes. If not, you want to put your milk on the stove in a pot and slowly bring the temperature up to 180 degrees. So that's where this comes in. I just don't want to have to watch it, and I know that this boil method will get it to 180. I don't even have to check anymore because I've checked several times. And if I miss it, it's okay, because I have checked it several times and it always gets to 180. Just barely, but it gets there. Okay, we're back to the yogurt. It's been, oh gosh, maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. I kind of walked away for a while, but it doesn't matter. Once it switches to yogurt, I know that it got to 180. I'm going to pull this out and just let it sit for a while. I actually have to leave the house for a while, for a couple of hours, but I know that it will be just about the right time when I get home. I'm looking for it to be about 105 to 110, 115 maybe. But I probably would wait for it to get to 110 if I found it at 115. So it needs to cool down from 180 down to 105 or 110. That's the key, so you can obviously do that on the stovetop just fine. I set it out here, and sometimes if I'm in more of a hurry, I'll stir it once in a while just to get it cooling off a little faster. All right, it's a couple hours later. I just got home. It's 2.5 hours about. And it is 108.3. So perfect. I always save a small jar of yogurt from the last batch in my fridge. You can just start with half a cup of any live culture yogurt. When I first started making it, I just started with some store-bought Greek yogurt that was plain, about half a cup, and then you keep producing your own culture after that. So I always save some of this back, and I will stir it in with a fork very gently. It's important to stir it all the way in, but also not to be too rough with it. So I want to break up that clump of yogurt in there. But I don't over stir for sure, because that can make your yogurt lumpier. And also just moving it around a lot is not great for it, so it's better to leave it settle. It helps it to be a nice thick yogurt and not be, not have little lumps in it. So that's why I stick it in my pressure cooker and try to not mess with it at all, not to touch it too much. Now I'm putting the pot right back in the pressure cooker and turning it on the yogurt button again. And whoops, got to plug it in. And this time I will set it for about 15 hours. Anything about 12 to, I don't know, sometimes I leave it for 20 probably. It's always great. And if you don't have the pressure cooker at this point, you just want to put it in somewhere warm. So I used to use an oven with just the light on. That would create a nice, just toasty, warm environment. Some people wrap their yogurt with towels on their kitchen counter. My kitchen it runs cold, especially in the cooler months. So for us, it works great to stick it in here, and this will just keep it warm. Next up, we are going to make butter. This is such a fun project to do with kids. In fact, well before we had cows, one of my kids' homeschool science experiments was to put heavy whipping cream in a jar and shake it until it became butter. And so it was so fun for them to see how butter was made. So we love to use mixers around here. It's a lot less workout on your arms. Oh, we got some aprons. Okay, so we're getting some aprons on apparently. It can get a little messy. You can use a blender. You can use a KitchenAid mixer. I just happen to like using my mixer here. So we're going to turn it on. One thing about the cream, I just poured the cream in here and that's it. That's all you do to start. It's helpful to get to the butter stage when you've let the cream sit out for a little bit. So I've let it sit out for about 15 minutes. And we're just going to slowly crank this thing up. No, that's the timer one. Okay, you guys are missing it. Get over here and watch. So we're going to watch it just whip up here, little by little. I'm turning it up. And we're going to watch till it becomes whipped cream, and then we'll watch really closely and get ready to turn it down fast when it turns to butter. Right? Yeah. You can put your finger in and see what the whipped cream tastes like.
Wait, but you have to put sugar in it.
There's no sugar. Is it good? Guys, this butter's just for us. Don't worry about it. It's good to do an experiment. Okay, we're going to wash our hands again before the next part. Alright, let's get it going. Now we're going to go past the whipped cream. Okay, oh, we got a big slosh pit now. That's when it, you know. Just that last few seconds with the towel on top. It became look at that. Now it's butter.
No.
That's her change from whipped cream to butter is just so instant. It always amazes me. Okay, guys, go wash your hands again since you licked your fingers because you're going to help rinse my butter.
Wait, what?
Okay, now everyone has a ball of butter. We've just pulled it out of there. That's buttermilk.
Yeah.
Does it feel weird? Now we're going to rinse it in cold water. So you want to rinse it all off and let all the buttermilk get out of there until your water runs clear. So rinse it and squeeze. Rinse it and squeeze. Make sure it's cold water or it'll start melting all over you.
I'm watching it.
Do you see buttermilk come out when you squeeze? Can you squeeze it, Seth? Give it a squeeze. Good job. Rinse it and then come out of the water and squeeze. Yeah, there's a little buttermilk coming out. Good job. Kind of like Play-Doh.
Yeah. Yeah, guys.
Okay, rinse and squeeze. There you go.
It's Play-Doh. It actually has dough, so look at it. I'm playing with it.
All right, Peace, get in there. Get in there. Rinse it.
Got it. God, I need some. Yeah, it's disgusting. It feels disgusting.
Okay, don't put it on the. Oh, don't put it up there.
So good, Mommy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's so soft.
Mommy, it's so gooey.
Yep, keep squeezing it out.
Like butter. Like this is just butter.
That's why you have to have real clean hands.
Wait, Mom. Everyone's eating butter. This is butter.
Don't eat it. Just keep rinsing.
Eating butter. I'll eat this. Bye.
I gave it one last rinse and squeeze and then turn the water warm and they're washing their hands off. But now I'm just spreading out our glob here and I'm going to put some salt in it.
I'm going to sit in the lake. I'm going to sit in the lake too. I'm driving in a car. We're driving in a car. Oh yeah.
Getting all the buttermilk out helps it to last longer. So that's why it's really important to rinse it well. Squeeze it out well. Now let me show you how I store it. I love to use these. They are freezer silicone molds and they're 1 pound. So when I have extra, I definitely put them in here. I'll put a bunch in the fridge and then I have a second one that I put in the freezer. They're wild now, but once I freeze them, then I wrap them in parchment paper and they can last in the freezer for a while so I can get ahead on my butter. But today I don't have that much, so let me show you how I store it to just use it in my kitchen day to day. I love these butter crocks. They say butter on them. I got them from Amazon. You put a little water in. It shows you a line of where to fill the water. It's not very much. Cold water. And then I have 2 of them here. But I like to fill them up as much as I can. So there's no air pockets. It helps it stay fresh even longer. It's actually kind of fun to play with that butter once you get used to it and you're not grossed out touching all the butter. So I'll fill it with just a little cold water and then I'll stick it in there and it stays fresh and spreadable, which is awesome. I've noticed that when I just put it in my regular butter crock that I use for all my other butter, without the water, upside down in the water, it goes bad a lot faster, the fresh butter. So I like to keep it in the fridge as well, but then it's not spreadable. So these things are wonderful, and then I'll put the rest in the mold in the fridge, and then when I need to, I just refill those crocks. So I don't have too much here, but I will hopefully make another batch in a couple days and be ahead and be able to fill this guy up. And maybe by the end of the week, get some in the freezer too. Fun, easy project that also teaches our kids a little bit more about where their food comes from, how it's made, and it's so simple. If you have cows like I do, you're saving yourself a lot of money. But if you can get a good deal on some heavy whipping cream, it is a fun thing to do. And maybe, just maybe where you live, you could get heavy whipping cream cheaper than butter. I don't know. I will put all the links for the things I used today in the description box down below. No pressure to use our links, of course. You're welcome to just go find them elsewhere. But we always appreciate it when you do, so thank you if you do. And if I forgot any link that you're interested in, please let me know. So I'm gonna pick this video back up tomorrow and show you the final result of the sour cream and the yogurt. It is about 24 hours later. It's time to check on our projects. I actually haven't even opened my yogurt yet because I was busy this morning, but it's gonna be just fine, I'm sure. But let's check. First up is the sour cream. Let's see, I gently brought it over here. Didn't want to disturb it much. There's always some bubbles on the top from shaking it. Here's about how thick it is. Oops, I got some of that foam there, which I'll stir that in. Not super thick, as you can see. It's not really lumpy, it's just that foam doing that. But it looks really good. Let me show you a sour cream that's been sitting in the fridge for a minute. So this sour cream I just pulled out of the fridge. It's been in there for several days. And as you can see, just after a few hours in the fridge, it thickens up really nicely. It's close to the consistency of store-bought. Maybe not quite as thick. Maybe a little creme freshness more. I don't know. I've never tried creme fraiche, but I'm guessing that's what it would be more like. It tastes wonderful. The taste is good, just as good, if not way better than any store-bought sour cream. So we'll find ways to use this stuff up, and I'm definitely keeping to making my own sour cream from now till all time. It is just too easy and too fail-proof to go back to buying store-bought. Unless I am not milking my cows, in which case I might buy it. Next up, let's check the yogurt. Yogurt is looking fantastic. This is such a no-fail method, using that thermometer to make sure I got the right temps. So now sometimes I pour off this whey. I like to save the whey because I put some in my homemade mayonnaise. If you want to check out that video, you can see how I use it to extend the life of my mayonnaise. I wonder if it would extend the life of my sour cream. Good question. I've never tried it. I used to just pour off this amount of whey that kind of collects right there. But lately I have gotten a strainer, and I've used the strainer much more often to make a very, very thick, creamy yogurt. So I pour it into my strainer and leave it for about 24 hours. This thing will strain the whey right off of it. And it has a lid. It makes it so thick and creamy, and I actually have some in the fridge right now that I had strained for 24 hours, so I'll show you that one too. I already stuck that new batch in the fridge. That's definitely not one you want to just leave on the counter. After it's done, you want to stick it in the fridge. If I was just doing yogurt drinks or something, I wanted it a little runnier, I would just pour off the whey, but my kids have really been loving the thick yogurt. So here is the result after 24 hours. Look at that yogurt. I mean, that is a good Greek yogurt. Not sure if it counts as Greek yogurt when it is full fat, but boy, let me tell you, it tastes better than ever. Very little whey. The carbs are in the whey for sure. A lot of carbs in the whey. It's decadent. This is one I love to take to friends. When I've taken it to friends, they beg me for more because it's just that good. I don't think any store-bought yogurt I have tried ever compares to this homemade yogurt with full fat milk. If you eat yogurt regularly and haven't tried making it, I would highly recommend it. I'm not even a big fan of yogurt myself, but I try to find ways to make myself eat this because it's just excellent. You can marinate chicken with spices for good Indian dishes with yogurt. You can replace your sour cream with yogurt if you want your sour cream much thicker. My kids always sweeten it with maple syrup or honey, and sometimes I will just thaw some frozen berries and put it with a little sweetener like maple syrup or honey in the yogurt and just store it that way, and then it goes really, really fast. So if we're not eating through it fast enough, I will do that and my kids will devour it. We also love it as parfaits with our homemade granola on top and some berries in it. So many great ways to use up yogurt, and this is so much cheaper than store-bought. So if you're using pasteurized milk, it's just the exact same process, and you just don't have to spend the money that it would cost to make a gallon of Greek yogurt. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and the simple recipes to make milk products in your own kitchen. There are two things that I keep trying and not doing well with. One of them is cream cheese. I haven't quite made a product that I love yet, but I want to because it will save me good money. And the other one is cottage cheese. I keep trying a couple different methods and I haven't been super happy with them. So if you have a no-fail recipe for cottage cheese or cream cheese that you love, or you have a video to recommend, I would love and appreciate that info in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye!